on a Friday night. About as informal a Friday night as we can have, as we it's Pizza Friday here, and we're not joking around. It's Pizza Friday night, live from Studio 6B. The boys are in the building, but they're still enjoying their pizza. We're not on the network tonight, so we figured, what the hell, just come hang out. So we're here. We're going to spend a lot of time in the chat. So if you got questions tonight, stuff, now's the time to, we can get into it. Tom Cahill says, let's do it, boys. We will. Troy on Facebook says pizza. We'll get to, I don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to hang out. I mean, I don't know what the news is. Kamala's interviewed, and then I guess the news is President Trump made the walk back that we all hoped he did today, or at least made the clarification, which I think is great. Sue says, I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much. Mary says, glad to see you. Dave says, hopefully pizza, not flown in from Chicago. No. Bucky's fan. Damon, what's going on? What's going on? Lori says, talk about the interview. I saw someone post a meme today of Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey on, is it Liar Liar? Where he gets up in the courtroom and it just says, yes. That was basically Kamala. As what's her name? Even if she asked a semi-serious question, just basically disappeared after that, and whatever blabber came out of her mouth, she was just oblivious to it, or didn't feel at all about following up. So, Mark Efferberg, hello, I love you too. Thank you very much. Days without the boys is like days without sunshine. Thank you very much. Damon, acknowledge me. Drag Blacker, I acknowledge you. Like Roman Reigns. The interview was around a 10-year-old level. Yes, exactly. Damon, I'd like to see you keep us up to date about the Forest Service boondoggle with the young couple. What was that? In Dakota. Okay. I'll have to refresh myself on what that is. Damon, no cigar. Robert, if I could find a place, I'd have to start a GoFundMe, though. I'd have to start a GoFundMe so I could buy the building, probably. But if I could find a place that I could smoke cigars while doing the show, I'd be out of here in about 2 seconds. No, I know, Harry. It's not. Harry's yelling at me from across. I know we can't smoke in here because this is like this, whatever.
We have sprinklers and electric equipment.
Exactly. We have sprinklers. And is this a government building or no? I guess it's not.
No,
the government building next door, right?
Yeah.
The county building.
Slick, welcome on over.
Hey, Big D.
What's going on? How's the pizza?
Delicious.
Pizza Friday is pretty good,
Still
right?
enjoying a little bit, yeah.
Damon, no Ricks to harass? No, the Ricks are here. They're just hanging out. This is just about as informal a show as we'll ever do. But we just, we like to be with you guys. So
yeah,
we could have just not even probably come on because I don't think the network's even going to get to us tonight because I think Trump's going to be late because he left Pennsylvania, I don't know, like 6:15, 6:30, 6:45?
Yeah, 6:30.
By the time he, and he's moving around as a president, it's not the easiest thing. So by the time he gets to the plane, gets in the air, gets to D.C., gets off to D.C., gets to motorcade, gets to the place, as Harry says, shake some hands and whatever. Can't imagine he's going to be anywhere near 8 o'clock. It's already obviously 8:08. So we were debating what to do, and I said, no, let's just grab a slice, go talk to the audience, get on there. I don't know if there's any news. We'll talk about news, see what's going on with sports, and take your questions.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, sit here and hang out, I guess. So whether we do this for an hour or 2 hours, or it's up to you guys. If you hang around and you want us to stick, we'll stick. I notice you guys are not unreal. America's Voice as early as you used to be in. I don't know what that means.
We did start a few minutes late tonight, if that's what they mean.
Oh, well, yeah, we were a little late because we were sitting around talking to Harry and eating pizza, and we knew we weren't going to have to be on right at 8. So, Tommy Viper, how you doing, bud? You guys used to be on like 5 o'clock like clockwork, and now you're behind or something. Well, no, I think we're a couple minutes late tonight just because.
Yeah. Dial it down tnight. We're just casual.
We're just hanging out. I don't know.
Yeah, but Delgado's doing bicep curls.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll be on.
Slick Rook looks like.
Yeah, I look like.
How do I slow this chat down? I can't even get to some of these comments.
Where are you on? I'm on the YouTube.
You should be able to scroll up. That'll slow it down.
Oh, I look like the L.A. Lakers tonight. Todd Cooper says.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
I'm on everything here, so
I think more like Golden State. This is more of a royal blue there, Todd.
that is Golden State colors right there.
More Golden State or L.A. Rams.
You didn't bring a slice over. You done?
Done. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
he's done.
I mean, Delgado on Friday pizza night inhales it like he's going to the chair.
Yeah,
Goodness.
exactly.
It's like this is the only time in the week you eat.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because
Probably the only time of the week he eats crap.
you know what it is? No, I eat crap all week. It's just I don't have pizza.
Whoa, look at that.
And I'm a pizza fan.
Look at
I'm a
that.
huge pizza fan, and I
see-
love pizza.
I see
But
that.
now it's like all other pizza is crap compared to Pizza Friday.
I mean, this really is. I mean, this is.
When Damon puts that hat on, I want to go to Roy Rogers now.
I know.
Shut up, Flick, you jerk.
Now I want some fried chicken.
Hardee's. Arby's. You name them.
We have the meats.
Yeah, you
He's like Big Barry.
Did you do that commercial?
Someone said J.R. Ewing in that.
yeah. Believe me, he's shot. Oh, we're on fire tonight. And we didn't even drink. I'm telling you. A day without the boys is like a day without moonshine for me.
Hey, Big D, where did Miranda Khan go? You know, I just heard about this. I have no idea. I think I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about her. Well, I think she's pretty much made it public. I think she got engaged. Oh, she got married.
Oh, wow.
And then she moved. Okay. Yeah, I don't know any more than that, but we like Miranda and we wish her the best. And
Was she on the show with
her
us?
relationship.
That's-
Yeah, of
She
course.
was on the show with us.
I wasn't here, but she was on with you guys.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah.
Really liked her. Oh, she's not with the network?
Yeah, Cindy says, don't make Damon laugh while he's eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm the only. Well, no, Slick's got pizza with him too. So
Yeah, I'm waiting for a commercial break that's not coming, but yeah.
that hat still needs a hat band. I know everybody's telling me I got to dress it up. I know I got to.
Yeah, you got to pull a little turquoise.
Well, I just got this when I was in Nashville.
Oh my goodness! How long ago
Thanks
was
to my
that?
friend Peggy.
6 months ago.
Yeah.
No.
Peggy pointed me in the right direction.
Nobody cares.
No, everybody. No, that's not true. Everybody cares.
No, but we know you got it when
Bring
you were
Kevin
in
back.
Nashville.
Okay.
Here's what we have to establish with the
Yeah,
audience.
tell
Okay.
them, these people. Come on.
Every time someone's not here does not mean I have them locked up in the back of my trunk.
No, because he doesn't have a trunk.
Or that I fired them, or that I told them not to come back. None of that is ever true. Kevin tonight has a comedy show
Yes.
Yeah.
that he is performing at that we knew for a while he was going to have to be off Thursday, Friday, and he's off next Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. From
We
one
almost went to
comedy
the show. We almost went to the show and blew you guys off, but we said, no,
we were
gotta
actually
stay.
debating whether
Yeah.
we should come on here or we should just go to the show and heckle Kevin from the back row. That would have been great.
He would have got us, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure he would have
I
smoked
would've
us.
sat right
you
in
don't want to
front.
do that.
Especially me in this hat sitting in the back row.
We could have split them. We would have split the mic right in front.
Damon, the hat needs to be lower in the front and back. Well, how lower in the front and the back?
So you can't see.
I
your
got
head.
it shaped nicely at the place I got it. So
To do that, you need a bigger hat.
Yeah. Well, they don't want to see your head. I think that's what they're trying to say. You pull it down all the way across the face, then you look
Nuts.
great.
I think you should be wearing that hat every night. I'm sorry. I think that's you. I think you should wear it every night.
still no YouTube. What do you mean still no YouTube?
I'm on
There's
YouTube.
all
What's wrong
kinds
with
of
these people?
comments from
I'm on YouTube.
the.
I'm on it right now. Just said hello to
from the
Ruby
YouTube.
Ivy. She
Yeah,
loved
it's
my-
to
she
see
loved my
Ruby
outfit.
Ivy, Stephen Breyer.
Staff Sergeant Arby, of course. He's on every night.
Matthew McNary says exactly Delgado, probably to the pull it down over your face comment.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right? Stephen Breyer wants to be keep him posted on the Army game tonight. You know, come on.
Hoss Big D. D needs a nice leather hat band. Great big hat feather. Okay, there's a lot of recommendations. I don't know if I would go with the feather.
No, that's not. You're not a feather guy.
Dude, you got to do something about the rest of the outfit, though. The hoodie.
Star Style Batter is happening now.
The hoodie doesn't cut it with the hat.
Why? It's the same color. I think it looks great.
Looks terrible.
Who cares what you think? What do you know? You wearing a black. You wear black every night, as the audience points out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
just because you got those guns,
Delgado
you think it's
in
like
his-
a gun show every night.
Delgado's in his Bongino black every night.
Yeah. I mean, who are you taking? We're not taking advice from you on how to dress. Look who's next to you.
Delgado.
I'll take advice from the man.
I don't think I've ever seen Delgado in anything
really
but a
call
t-shirt.
him a man?
Well, yeah, when it comes to dressing. I mean, do you know anybody that dresses snappier than the Slickster?
I'm waiting
Snappier?
Come on.
Well.
Yeah,
Thank you, Joanne.
Yeah,
Ohio.
they're all dead.
Says,
Elvis, Liberace, Prince, Michael Jackson, they're all dead. Unfortunately.
Let's see. What else is going on? Come on, this is your night, folks. We're here just to talk to you. We're not doing any news because the news sucks. Who cares?
Oh, yeah,
is there any news, Delgado, that's even worth talking about today?
Well, we could talk about the interview from last night.
Oh, God. Everybody's talked about that. There's nothing to talk about.
I mean, it's like Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. When he does that, I mean...
Word salad, man.
Big D is not a rhinestone cowboy, Charles says.
He needs that hat bedazzled.
Like a rhinestone cowboy. Oh, the great Glenn Campbell.
Oh, he was one of the greatest.
Is he still alive or dead?
No, he passed.
I mean, can we just...
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know what
What do you
somebody's
mean
dead.
you're
Campbell?
sure?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes you think somebody's dead, and all of a sudden they pop up. You're like, oh, I thought that guy was dead. Guess not.
Man, Glenn Campbell is...
I'm gonna
Some of the most...
How about the Wichita lineman?
Could that boy play the guitar? Could that boy play the guitar? He could light the guitar on fire.
Glenn Campbell.
Yeah.
On
Glenn Campbell.
fire.
Yeah, he died.
All right, he died.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
Thank you.
6 years ago.
And he did not...
7
years ago.
He did not, he did not sing, by the way, in the key of non-binary.
No, he definitely did not.
Oh, man. I saw,
a man.
Aaron,
Oh,
I
man.
saw your weekend review when you opened with Bon Iver. Just...
You like that one?
I love those weekend reviews that Aaron does.
What?
Drag Blacker.
I haven't seen
Yeah, that
that.
was a good.
Greg Blacker says we got to play
You gotta
Galveston.
go watch it, Delgado.
Yeah,
Where is
I
it?
want you to actually
It's
follow
on
YouTube,
all
and maybe
socials.
you'll see it.
I think at least it's on YouTube.
It's on the
I don't know where
YouTubes.
else it is. Probably Facebook, I would assume.
I don't go on Facebook.
Well,
I
mean-
do.
Delgado complains about the socials on the show that he's a part of, that he's
Right.
on the show. He doesn't even follow the socials
don't
of the
look
show
at
he's
them.
on.
I do
The
follow.
other day he says, I can't even chat on YouTube. It's like,
Right.
well, are you subscribed?
Well,
Well, no.
Well, I was talking to people all the time up until the other day when you guys changed it on me. And then I didn't realize I had to now
that's-
subscribe.
We've changed it to subscribers only, which, by the way, is free. There's nothing involved. Just hit subscribe. Because, we just keep the, nonsense out and get it to people who really, if you're following the channel, then obviously you're, somewhat invested. You like it. You follow it. You see the content every day. So we figure we'll make it only subscribers only chat. And so people can't just come in there and troll all day and not subscribe. So they can subscribe then troll. if they
Does
want to.
subscribing stop the trolling? Is that what you're saying?
Well, not really, but
I
I mean,
think so.
it helps a
It
little.
might. It might.
I did find I was looking for James Carville because I wanted to find out what he thought about Kamala's interview last night.
I don't know. I know people are gonna.
But I couldn't find
I
anything
used to
about
like Carville.
I couldn't find anything from Carville about what he thought of her interview.
Yeah.
But I did find other stuff from Carville.
Okay.
The one from last week.
Flying
which is,
saucers. Flying saucers from Carvel. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
We have any in the fridge?
which I sent in with some bleeps to Fran, and I left it to his discretion if there needed to be more bleeps.
Well, we're on social, so tonight we could
Okay.
we could have just
I
probably
guess we could've-
let it rip, but
I guess
I'd
we
rather
could've
not.
let it rip.
I put all the bleeps in. You're hearing the bleeps.
Unless there's some kid, this is a family show now. I hear.
It is.
Oh, really?
Well, I get a lot of emails that say, I get a lot of emails from people who say they watch the last, or the first hour with their kids or their kids.
I'm always cognizant of that. I always am.
So we don't want to be.
Ron in the
All
living room, the kids are there.
Well,
Nah, you gotta be
so
careful.
Fran, did you insert more bleeps?
All the necessary beeps.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So basically, I could do the clip before we play it. Beep, 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 and beep, beep, beep.
Well, it was interesting because, and you'll have to see the clip because he is kind of respectful at the end.
Okay.
So
Well, let's play this little Martian face and see what he's
this is
talking
from
about.
I think about a week ago.
Which one is it? You want to tell
I don't
Aaron,
have
or
a
you-
list in
is she a
front of
mind
me.
reader?
I don't have a list in front of me. So
I mean, do you know what clip? Do you know what he's thinking about, Aaron?
Governor Chambers called them weird, and that doesn't nearly describe this.
This guy.
So I have a message to Jesse and of the whole freak show. is why don't you take a tampon and shove it right up your because that's where it goes, right up your. Oh, maybe you could stick it in your mouth, and maybe you could take a used one and in your mouth and because that's what you do. You suck. Thank you.
He's talking about Jesse Waters, by the way.
Yes. Of course. Did you hear the last few seconds? He does sign off. He's like, but I think he says like, thank you. Like he signs off like, okay, that's the end of my show. Thanks you for watching.
You know, I went back. I was watching, came across my YouTube feed. It was an old Imus in the morning show from, I don't know, 1990 something or other. And it was Carville and Mary Matlin. Of course, they're married. And they went on Imus. And I went back and watched it. And I mean, Carville was great back then. He was still, whatever.
Salty.
Yeah, but he was over there on the left side of town. But he wasn't on the communist train. And he wasn't totally off his rocker like he is now. He's just so far gone.
He's so much more fun now.
And I watched it back then, and he was so much more enjoyable back then. Him and Mary would, they'd get into it, but in a fun, comedic way. And I mean, man, he was great back then. I'll tell you the other one who used to be great is now on the crazy train, Mike Barnicle.
Who?
Barnicle used to be great from the Boston Globe. I think it was the Globe he wrote for. Mike Barnicle used to be fantastic back in the days on Imus. And he would. And now he's over there on the crazy train too on MSNBC with Morning Joe. He's just off the rails. I don't know what's happened to these guys. They're just all off the rails. But no, Carville used to be funny, but now he ain't funny anymore.
See, and I find him hilarious now.
Well, I mean, in a different. Yeah, I know why you do, of course.
Because he reminds me of he's one of those old guys who and we played the clip where he talks about it used to be that I had some influence and I meant something. He goes, but now anybody can have a show and have an opinion. He's like pissed that now anybody can do what he does. So he's kind of been pushed to the side by a younger, more savvy population that basically opines about politics, and he doesn't get the play that he used to. He's not as well known, and the kids don't know him, and they don't think that James Carville is cool anymore. They just think he's a crusty old guy yelling at them from his porch, which is basically what he's turned into.
Yeah, it's all that someone points out in the chat. They all have TDS, like that commercial we played yesterday about. That was good from Kennedy's camp there, the Independent, whatever it was called. Yeah, but all these guys used to be able to yuck it up and have some fun and, not be so serious and actually talk about things from both sides. But now they're all just absolutely nuts. And people are writing in the chat, they're saying it's all about the money at this point. Like Barnicle and all these guys are just taking it. It's just whatever they can do to make the money, I guess. So
yeah, and that's why they hate Trump so much, because he's going to interrupt that money train.
Oh, yes.
That military industrial complex, now the pharmaceutical complex, basically all these huge blobs that just they basically pay for Democrats and Republicans to vote for what they want them to vote for, and then they reap the benefits of it, which means money in their pockets on both sides.
Ree Z on Facebook says, Damon, I loved Imus. That's where I first heard Delbert.
Oh, wow.
Of course. That's where everybody got introduced to Delbert, the greatest blues singer there was.
Delbert.
Come on, Delbert. And my friend Michael Curtis, who actually wrote, I got to talk to Michael. He's wrote me a couple emails here. Got some good stuff going on. Man, I got to hear Delbert in an unreleased Delbert recording. Was it Mustang Sally? I think it was Mustang Sally. I mean, there's nobody who can sing Mustang Sally better than Delbert.
Really?
I mean, come on. That's just throwing up a meatball softball right down the middle.
Better than the Wicked Pickett? Wilson Pickett?
Well, I mean, You'd have to be the judge, but you're not going to be able to hear this recording because you didn't go to Alabama with me.
They don't let me out of Suffolk County. What are you talking about?
But Harry said what? Check my Instagram? Okay. Harry on the highway. Well, I mean,
That's great for the show, Damon.
Okay.
So everybody can see what you're talking about.
Well, Harry sent me some video of some.
Why would you trust Harry?
Some lunatic. I guess some lunatic who's at. Where is that, Harry? Is that where he was, or that's where he's? I was earlier today. Some left-wing nut job tried to get up and start. I don't know. The guys at the Trump rally, and they got rid of the guy. Just another guy to send home to mommy's basement.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of James Carville, he did have some thoughts on RFK from last week. And again, it falls in line with, you talk about how he used to be, back in the day, they could have discussions about things and, debate policy and people and blah, blah, blah. And everybody's still friends at the end of the day. Not today. No, not in this Democratic Party. Here's cut number 7. James Carville on what he thinks should be done to RFK Jr. Listen to this.
Really?
I really feel sorry for the Kennedy family because I will remind them, you can pick your friends, you can't pick your relatives. And if Bobby Kennedy lived in a more humane country, they would have him in a nice rubber room and, 3 hots in a cot and take care of this guy. He has no business being out on the street mixing and mingling with people, but this is where we are in this country. We have a mental health crisis.
Yeah, you're an example of it.
Right?
Where you've gone, how much you've changed too, by the way, James. There's the old Carville and Begala. There they are. There's your team from the 90s right there. That's the old team. They used to appear together on all the shows too, Carville and Begala.
But
as a matter of fact, didn't they have a show, Carville and Begala?
I don't even know.
I think they had a show back in the day, those two.
But there you have it. The left's thinking if you don't agree with them, and you support Trump, well, you probably belong in a rubber room. You should have a cot and three squares a day. Yeah. Basically throw you in jail.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Carville's just
nuts.
Yeah, like he's just nuts. I don't think he really means it. He's just, just out there saying stuff.
Why don't you just come to his defense?
Well, I'm not coming to his defense, but I just remember the good old days of Carville. But those days are gone. He's just out of his mind now. He's just taking it all way too seriously. That's the problem. He's taking it all way too seriously, and he can't be funny anymore. You got to be funny. You can find humor in all this stuff in some way. Try to be. That's what we try to do. We fail most of the time, but
or at least make sense. Have some common sense.
Exactly. He's just nuts.
You know who else is nuts?
You.
No. Quentin Tarantino.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yep.
Quentin Tarantino did his best James Carville sitting down with Bill Maher. Did you see this?
No.
He's talking about, because I guess this was from last Friday, knowing that the...
James Reed said he looks like a wax museum statue whose wax is melting. That could be Pelosi, too, by the way.
Yeah, no kidding. Knowing that the interview was coming up with Kamala Harris. And basically, he says what most liberals think is, it doesn't matter what she says, I'm voting for her anyway. Mm-hmm. Which makes no sense. But he just has his own Quentin Tarantino way of saying it. You want to see that?
Yeah, why not?
We're just hanging out.
We're just hanging out here. I'm watching the chat and...
Cut number 5. Let's go with this. Here's Bill Maher and Quentin Tarantino.
What most people don't give the Democrats enough credit for, all right, but we give the Republicans credit for. It's like, no, sometimes it's just about winning. And it doesn't matter how we look at this moment. It's about winning.
Right.
This is about winning.
Yep. No, it is.
Wow.
It's a mad dash, and she is running, and she's not stopping to stumble.
And you know what?
And there's nothing wrong with stopping this. I'm going to vote for her anyway, no matter what she says in a stupid interview.
Exactly.
So don't up.
You're right. I couldn't be more on that page.
I mean, they're all on that page.
Yeah.
I mean, and listen, some make the argument that it's unfortunately the Republicans are never on that page together. Republicans are never just, we're going to win, and I don't care what it takes. We're running, we're dashing, and if we have to burn the place down to get to the finish line, we're going to get there. But that's what they do.
Yeah, and they care very much how they look doing it. And if they're going to look bad, they don't want to do anything.
I mean, he's a little different nuts, though. Would you agree? Like, he's on a little different level than I would say Carville. Like he's like Rob Reiner, like nuts. He's like the guy who used to be at ESPN. Like
Right.
That's like different level nuts.
Yeah, that's different level nuts, but he kind of has that same look and mannerisms. Like I could see in like 20 years, he looks just as Gollum-ish as Carville does.
Yeah.
You know?
I could see that.
People like his movies.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I like his movies.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
Really?
Yeah.
You've never seen
one? Name one.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like you're a big fan.
No. The names escape me. I've seen a bunch of them. Bruce Willis was in the. What the hell is it?
Yeah, that
Pulp
movie
Fiction.
was great.
Pulp Fiction?
Pulp Fiction.
Never saw
Reservoir
that.
Dogs.
What?
Reservoir Dogs is a great movie.
Never saw that.
Hateful Eight.
Nope.
I saw Pulp Fiction, but I don't remember him.
I never saw Django Unchained though.
Never saw that.
Oh, that sounds
Because that, when I saw that, it was like, oh, they use the N word so much. I'm like, do I really want to just go see that? Not really.
Not really.
I wasn't
Glorious
interested.
Bastards.
Who?
Inglourious Bastards was an awesome Nazi film.
No, I've never seen that.
Wow.
I don't think
Brad
I've ever
Pitt.
seen any one of his movies. That's what I
Really?
said. Yeah, I don't think so.
What's the one with the
I don't know what-
Tim Roth as the bellhop?
Ooh, I always forget the name of that one.
I'll tell you.
You
in
want to
second.
phone a friend?
It's called Four Rooms.
Oh, you don't have one. That's right.
It's called what?
4 Rooms.
4 Rooms. Yeah, that's
They made a
Rooms.
movie about you, Delgado. It would be called Rubber Room.
No, if you really want to see a really well, and Tim Roth is one of the
Stephen
guys.
Breyer says all crappy movies,
He's
and
right
I think
on the
he's
money.
right. Yeah,
Stephen
I don't
Fry is
think
right
so.
on the money. All crappy movies is right.
And I've never seen any of these movies.
Yeah.
You've never seen any of these movies?
No, I haven't seen one movie that you've mentioned.
Not even Pulp Fiction?
Not
I thought
one.
everybody saw Pulp Fiction.
No,
I
Just so
saw
you
it.
could
That
say
was-
you saw Pulp Fiction.
no.
Yeah.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Dust Till Dawn's a great movie.
Never saw that. I'm just reading from the.
It
The
goes.
chat now.
It's like 2 movies in one. It
Team
starts out.
Chemtrails. Is that a movie of his?
Not yet.
Okay.
It starts out as like a prison break movie.
Deja Vu.
And it just kind of becomes a vampire movie. It's awesome.
I used to watch Prison Break. That wasn't his though. That was
No.
a TV show.
Yeah, that was a TV show.
I liked that show with
Did
the 2
you?
brothers. That one of them was really good looking. The guy with the skin, the one who was always in jail. He was a good looking guy. That guy. Prison Break. Wasn't that a show? Am I? Hello?
Prison. Good
it was like
guy.
Prison
Big
Break.
D, where are we going
Yeah,
with
really.
this?
It was
What's
Prison
with that
Break.
cowboy hat now?
What's under that hat?
It was Prison Break, then 24.
Man.
Jack Bauer,
This is off
my
the top
favorite
of your
show
head,
of all
like your
time.
hat.
It was Prison Break, and then 24. I watched every
No, he
episode, every season of 24. I think I've watched them 3 times,
Yep.
maybe 4 or 5.
24?
My phone. If you call my phone,
Jack Bauer picks it up.
it's the CTU ringer.
I'm going to call your phone. Hold on.
No, you don't even have to call it. I'm just going to put it on. If you've watched 24,
I love 24.
put a 1 in the chat. If you have not, put a 2 in the chat before I do this. Let's see if I'll do it. Let's just see.
You remember when 24 came out?
Let's see if this is worth playing.
Why they delayed the
1 for yes, 2 for no.
why they delayed the start of that show? You remember back
The original first
then?
season?
Yeah, the first season.
With
First
Kiefer
episode.
Sutherland?
Yeah. Do you remember why
How
it
could there
was
be any
delayed?
2s? You didn't watch 24? There's more 2s than 1s. How's that possible?
I don't know.
Well, I don't care. I'm playing it anyways.
Is it? That's like any office.
That's the
I thought it was the countdown. You know when they do the countdown.
That's the CTU desk phone.
All right.
That's the CTU desk phone from 24. It was
All right,
Prison Break and then 24 on Monday nights. It was like must-see TV.
But you have no idea why they delayed the start of that show. You don't remember?
No.
This show was supposed to come out the week of September 11th.
Oh.
And
really?
the show opens with a flight that gets blown out of the sky.
Yes, it does.
That is why it was delayed, I believe, a month, maybe 5 weeks. Because, and they debated whether to even show that opening scene because it's like 9/11 just happened. And everybody was freaking out, like, how do we tie this, because it was already filmed.
I remember that.
I think they went with the original opening, but I think they ran a disclaimer in front of it. This could be disturbing to people, blah, 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 that kind of thing. So it was interesting how it was delayed because of that. Little known fact.
And the whole concept of it was so great with the running clock. I mean, just. And Kiefer, I know he's been great in other things, but for me, there's never any other character he can play that I don't look at him and say, well, that's Jack Bauer.
That's Jack Bauer, yeah.
Yeah. And the reboots without him, come on. Stop.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, I really did like him also in Lone Survivor? No. Designated Survivor. Yeah. I thought he was good in that, too.
I only saw like the first couple episodes. I just kept waiting for Jack Bauer to start shooting people.
I know, that's the hard part. That's the hard part. So, 24 Kiefer Sutherland, exactly, was awesome. I love 24 in Prison Break. See, this audience is hip to what we're talking about.
You know what?
Monday nights, man, back to back. Come on.
I actually
must-see TV.
I actually went to the wrap party for Prison Break its first season.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? How? Through Opie and Anthony?
No, through by then I was out in San Francisco. I was working for a morning show, and we had them do some call-ins and stuff and talk about the show. We were doing weekly updates for the show because it was a huge phenomenon when it came out.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody was watching Prison Break. So they invited us down. We went to the down for the close, the wrap party. I think I got pictures on my Facebook page.
Ooh, someone
too.
said, someone put another good show in the chat. Who was it that I actually watched a little bit? Blacklist. That was pretty good, too.
Oh, Blacklist is a great show.
Blacklist was great.
You know what's crazy about...
What else was your favorite shows?
About Blacklist?
You're around our age. What did you grow up loving besides Prison Break, 24, Blacklist?
Blacklist is great because a lot of the stuff that they talk about is the stuff you think I'm crazy.
That was the best duo, Tiffany. Back to back. Prison Break 24. That was the best. Oh, here we go. Here, I love these. Damon, what does this say? Damon complains about Republicans. What? Let me go.
You don't complain about Republicans.
Damon
he does.
Rhinos.
Where was this?
Yeah, rhinos. Well, those are Republicans.
Damon complains about Republicans not sticking together, yet he still supports Hollywood.
Oh, come on.
You know what?
Gloves are off tonight, Big D.
They got you on that one, Damon. You might as well just
stop watching TV, Damon.
Just stop. Yeah.
Leave it to Beaver. Saved by the Bell. Okay, good.
Saved by the Bell.
Equalizer, Dallas. Oh, Dallas is a little older. How about Knight Rider? Did you guys ever watch Knight Rider?
I watched a lot of Knight Rider. I watched a lot of Knight Rider.
Oh, come on. How good is that? David Hasselhoff, man.
I had that car. That was like 83, 84. I had that car in like 85.
Rockford Files.
Oh, yeah.
Dynasty. I liked Days of Our Lives for a while. My mom was like, I'm just telling you.
You know what though?
My mom was addicted to it.
Dude, so was mine.
I used to be in love with, what was the girl?
Kristen Alfonso?
Yeah,
Hope?
Kristen Alfonso. What was her character's name?
Hope.
Oh, man.
My goodness. Hope Brady. I had, believe it or not, in my college dorm room, I bought the Kristen Alfonso
get the girl on socials.
Lingerie poster. I had a big poster of her over my bed.
Really?
Yes. I think I'd have a picture of it somewhere.
All right, good night, everybody. We'll see you on...
What?
Okay, fine. No, fine.
I'm glad you said poster.
I liked Hope, and of course I love Stefano. I mean, come on. Was there any badder ass guy on afternoon soaps than Stefano Demira?
Stefano Demira.
He was the best.
Santoni Demira.
Love Knight Rider. See, people are... This audience is down. Come on. This audience is down. Damon, person of interest. I don't know.
Person of interest. What do you call it? Caviezel. That was his TV show. That was a good show too.
I don't know that one.
That's about surveillance, and it's a really cool show. Did you ever watch episodes of Black Mirror? You got to watch Black Mirror.
No.
Oh my goodness,
really?
Black Mirror, especially I think the first episodes, which are they're all British, but it's about all this futuristic stuff.
P1 firefighter says, Damon, what a girl you are. Like sands through the hourglass. Sorry.
Those are the days of our lives.
It's just the way it goes.
I used to love that. Well, my mom got me into it too, because every day I'd come home from school and she'd be watching Days of Our Lives.
There's some good shows going through the chat right now. They're going way too fast for me to read them all, but there's some good ones going through. Now, more recently, how about...
Suits? I love Suits.
I mean, Suits was great.
I credit you with that one.
What was the finance one that was the guy? He became really big, and then I think he left, Bobby.
Bobby Boombats?
Bobby. Oh God. Lead character Bobby.
Right. That guy.
They are a hedge fund. Somebody save me here. Billions, thank you, Billions.
Never saw it.
Bobby something or other. Oh man, so good. Billions is so good as well. I watched like a madman the first, I don't know, four or 5 seasons, and then I think they took a year off or something, then they came back. I have not picked it up. And he left, I think, for a season. Then he came. I don't know. I don't remember what the deal was. I love Bobby Axelrod. Thank you, whoever that was in the chat. Bobby Axelrod's one of the great characters. I mean, I don't know about ever, but that is a great character. And he was fantastic, that guy. Did you ever watch Billions, Slick?
No.
What is this, TV Guide, the decades?
We're just having fun. I don't know. Okay, fine. Let's do sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and My Pillow. Go, please, buy a mattress so you could sleep on it. Here with sports is Slick Rick. What's going on, Slick?
All right,
does that feel better? Now we're doing the show again?
No, it's fine. It's all good. I'm enjoying it.
Why do I have this picture here?
NCAA Big Day Football, Friday Night Football, under the lights, Oklahoma toppling Temple. 33-0 with 36 seconds to go in the second quarter. Michigan State over FAU 16-3. That's also in the second. 2 minutes to go there. Duke over Elon, not Musk, Elon. 3-0. 1:49 to go there in the second. You got Wisconsin and West Michigan. Wisconsin hosting 9 p.m. the Badgers. And we got Stanford out west taking on TCU. 10:30 kickoff. And tomorrow afternoon, good one. Clemson at Georgia. I think it's going to be an interesting game. Georgia's favored by 11.5, Big D.
All right, let's talk sports. We talked TV. Now let's talk some sports.
Yeah, I think that's going to be closer. I think I would take Clemson with the points there.
You're talking about Saturday games?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Tigers taking on the Georgia. The Dogs. I mean, Dogs are good. They're going to win the game, but I think it's going to be a little
Clemson
closer.
at Georgia. Georgia minus 11.5.
Yeah, I mean,
Clemson. I mean, they've really fallen off.
They have fallen. They're ranked 14th this year. You know, I mean, Georgia obviously.
And I would think appropriately so. They're favored by 11.5. The total in the game is 49. Yeah, I think that's a Georgia blowout.
Think so? Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. I think it's
now. What's the Wisconsin game? No, sorry, not Wisconsin. The West Virginia game. I saw Pat McAfee was in West Virginia today. I think he had 1 million students. At what it looked like, at least to me, out there. He says the biggest opening week game, maybe in school history. Who is West Virginia playing?
I don't have that on my list. Oh, West Virginia, Penn State, the Nittany Lions.
Oh, there you go.
They're hosting Penn State. Yeah,
West Virginia hosts Penn State.
Yeah, that's a noon game too on Fox.
Is it a noon game? Mm-hmm. Okay. Michigan hosts Fresno State. Texas A&M, Notre Dame. That's Penn 2 State. Ranked teams. I'm calling upset of the week right now. Texas A&M beats Notre Dame in week 1.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick. I like that one.
That's my upset of the week. Texas A&M minus 3 at home upsets Notre Dame.
Yeah, okay, they're going to be aggravated.
So all of you there, all of you out there who are betting sports, that's my upset pick of the week. Texas A&M, and then let's see if I have another one for you. I think that's going to be the one.
All right.
There's always one. Do you have an upset pick of the week? Slick?
Nah, I tell you, I like Clemson to make it close, but I don't think they're going to beat Georgia.
They're going to get blown. They're going to get routed.
You're going to get what?
Routed.
What'd you say before that?
I said no. They're going to get routed.
You think West Virginia could beat Penn State?
You didn't hear what you said.
No, what do you mean?
West Virginia at home.
Said they're going to get blown.
Right.
They're going to get blown out. Yeah. They're going to get routed. Blown out, I don't care either one. Or blown. If it's a really good night.
That's right.
West Virginia is a 7.5 point favorite at home. I don't know. I have no feel for that game.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Well, Pat McAfee's there, so we don't know. Major League Baseball winding down. The season's coming to a close soon, right? We're heading into September this weekend. The first is Sunday. We're getting into the stretch for the wild card in the playoffs. We'll keep track of that. But the Braves right now leading the Phillies 7-2, bottom of the 7th. Top of the 9th, Red Sox edging the Tigers 4-3. Brewers in the nightcap of a doubleheader that they won earlier today.
I'm sorry. Shadow Band said, I thought Damon's barred from betting due to non-payment of debt.
It should be.
Where did you get that?
Get out of here.
As soon as we get to Vegas, you'll be allowed to bet again.
As soon as we get right to Vegas, we'll probably get arrested. What are you talking about? As soon as we get in the door. Brewers 4-0.
I love me in Vegas. What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, we love to go to the Sphere. We heard about that, but we didn't win the bet, apparently, right, Rick?
No, you didn't. So.
No, we did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
we won. What did I tell you? They're not going to run that thing. That's all I said. That was my bet. They're not going to run that thing.
Don't try to change it now.
Well,
We're not changing it. We won the bet.
What do you have to
Everybody
go
knows
through?
it.
Like a whole due process?
Dan Flores says Damon is a Democrat. Caught me again.
Oh, they caught him. Mm-hmm. He's bluer than blue. All right, so let's get through this Reds game here in Cincinnati. The Brewers are beating them 4-0 in the middle of the eighth. Wow, the Reds are just absolutely horrible. They really just collapsed down the stretch, unfortunately.
Boy, you're such a fan.
I am a
my
fan,
goodness.
but they collapse. Look, you got to be.
They're not going to make the playoffs?
If your kid's ugly, you got to admit it, right?
Well, that's a little strong.
Yeah, that's a little strong.
I don't have kids. That's why I can say
No,
it.
that's a good point.
All right,
the Reds aren't going to make the playoffs?
No, they don't. No wild card, no nothing. Reds are out. They're finished. They're bottom dwellers. They're fighting Pittsburgh for last place. They are just horrible. They right down the stretch. They had a little shot about a month ago, and they've just disappeared. In fact, they said, your Reds are coming to New York. I'm like, good. I hope they get stuck on the plane. Don't get off, because they're horrible. Yankees over the Cardinals, and Yankees are playing good ball. They look good. They're 4-2 over the Cards. And
all right,
6.
Sergeant Arby says, Damon, do a poll if you won or lost a bet. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yes.
Here we go. What are you so excited about?
Because
we know.
I know. Yes.
Aaron chiming in.
Look at even Aaron's like, hey, you got an extra seat on that plane for me? That's
let me
you know
check
what?
my
You got it,
earbuds here.
Aaron.
I thought I heard Aaron chiming in.
Can't wait.
Okay.
Can't wait to watch Aaron tear it up.
See how
in
the
Vegas.
audience chimes in. Let's go.
Put a 1 in the chat if Damon won. Put a 2 in the chat if Slick and Delgado lost. Go.
Oh, great.
No. That's like
heads I win, tails you lose. Is
that's
out the door.
basically a Dana Bash question.
I think he's right. Put a 1 if you think Damon's right. All
right, put a 1 in the chat if Damon's right. Put a 2 in the chat if Slick and Team Chemtrails are right. Go.
Oh my God.
I don't see any 2s right now. I see all 1s. I see a 3. I see another 3.
1 is the loneliest
Let's
number.
go. I'm
6.
just watching 2s come through.
Oh man, I see a lot of 1s. Look at this. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1.
He's looking at his own Word document.
Fransky.
I mean, okay, maybe 2 has a slight edge.
Dude, what are you talking about?
Slight edge.
You call him a dude because he's wearing a hat?
It's 2s across the board.
Let me see if I can catch the 1s.
Deuces are wild right now.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Look at Erwin Fletcher. He's got like 18 twos.
Damon's in the wrong chat.
Oh my God.
Do a real poll, Damon. What does that mean?
Well, Fubar said 2, Jughead.
This is a real poll. I see 1s. 1 + 1 = 2, someone said.
You know what's funny?
C-Fly.
All
Rick?
2s.
Oh, I see 1 1.
C-Fly. Damon lost the bet. 2 2 2 2 2 2 2.
1.5, someone said.
Oh my God.
You have a 1 over on Kick.
Yeah. Wow.
No, he means you have one person
I
just
can't
watching
believe
the show
all the
on Kick.
people that. Well, Walt Baker says 69, so there's wishful thinking.
Oh, wait, that was the previous poll. Never mind.
Oh my gosh. Send him to the Sphere. Shay McNary. That's right, Shay. Come on.
All right, fine. After careful consideration and looking at this go by me,
Wow.
I'll say generally the audience on this show slightly thinks that you guys won. I mean, maybe you just got by here with
97%.
Oh my gosh. Look at all these twos.
Maybe they're right. You are a Democrat the way you.
David and Janine Pine. They say
it doesn't matter if you
I'm
vote.
going to do this next week. It's going to be too big to rig. This is rigged.
It doesn't matter if you vote, like Joe Biden says. It matters who counts the votes. And right now, Damon's counting only the 1 votes.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's all I saw for a little bit in front of me. So
he's got more rigs than a truck stop over here, Damon. What are you talking about? Come on. Give it up, Damon. You lost.
Damon has a future at MSNBC.
There is such a thing. Deb and Jeremy from Ohio. They wanted to shout out into YouTube. Come on,
There's got to be
Deb and
somebody
Jeremy.
who has my back here. I brought you this show in 2015.
Oh,
It wasn't for me.
Boo-hoo. What have you done for me lately?
Right.
Oh, Aaron thinks
Thank
that
you,
one.
Janet Jackson.
Okay, great.
You know it's good when you can hear Aaron through walls.
Yeah, laughing through the wall. That's how we know you hit a home run.
Drake Blackett says Damon is two-faced. Let's go right there from downtown.
James Reed says Damon should have a spot on The View.
No, he should have a spot on the 2. Same thing. Oh, Damon lost.
Whatever.
Somebody's calling
That
it
was a stupid poll anyway.
Walt Bacon says you got a 2-gallon hat on.
Is Damien a Democrat? I don't have an I in my name, number one.
Yeah. No, you're not Rosemary's Baby.
I've dealt with that my whole life, though.
Mike says on the Twix, he says the ballot stuffing effort hasn't kicked in yet. So, Damon, you still have time.
Thank you. Thank you. Damon, pour another drink. I don't have any. I don't drink, really.
No, you don't. You really don't.
I mean, my dad tells a story. When I moved into my first apartment out of Hofstra, he bought me a 12-pack of beer, put it in the fridge, and when I moved out of it 4 years later, 7 of them were still there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't really drink that much. Unless I'm in Vegas with you two.
Yeah, you'd be drinking a lot.
So I guess he's not going to be drinking because he's not taking us to Vegas.
Damon, take him to the Spear and have a blast. But if we went to the Spear, then we would have no shows.
What is a Spear?
How are we gonna do
what's the Spear? I thought it was a sphere.
Spear. That's what I said.
Sphere. No, you said Spear.
I'll take it to the Steer, too.
Yeah, they're good steer. They're out of business.
It's about what you guys deserve for a meal.
You mean that steer that
on the
passenger
car.
seat of the car?
Marsha Martin says, I'm with you, D. Thank you, Marsha.
Thank God. Good for you,
Thank you.
Marsha.
That's what that just lifted me up there.
There you go.
Andrew Jackson on Facebook says, Damon Brzezinski.
Yeah, exactly.
I am not related. Do the show on the road while you're there.
That would be fun.
That'd be a production.
I mean, I don't know. We should take the show on the road.
Yeah.
I know the guy.
Yeah, right after the RAV open.
Is he going to throw this in my face forever? We're never going to get there if you keep.
We're never
going to
get on the road, so we might as well keep it rolling.
Yeah, we can't even go down the street.
Man.
Well, because I'm not going to do it if we can't do it right. I'm just not going to. I'm not going to Harry Oates throw it together.
Harry on the highway's been on a lift all these years waiting for
You know
us.
what?
Come on.
I'm not going to do.
How else are you going to figure out what's going to work and what's not going to work if
I'm
you
gonna
don't get out
control
there
it.
and
That's
try
how
it?
I know it's going to work.
You got to get out and try. See, you know what? That was my problem. And here I'm going. I'm going total personal here.
Right. So here's okay. Go ahead.
Here's my personal.
And then I'll give you my list of must-haves to even leave this building.
Here's my personal problem that equates to what you're dealing with right here. I know it's the wrong show, and that's why I'm doing it here because it's online. And
let me take another bite of the pizza while you.
This is why I don't have a child. Because I was waiting for the perfect situation, and now that my opportunity is long gone.
No.
And you know what? It sucks. I'll never have that connection. Like, I'm jealous when I hear about you and your son, how you talk about your connection. Jealous. I have a stepson. Great, but we don't have that connection. So that's why, if you're thinking about doing something, just freaking do it. I'm living proof. If you sit back waiting for the perfect time, you'll never have the perfect time.
Well, I don't. Well, now Delgado's gotten all serious on us here now.
I'm just trying to put it into.
Why do you think it's? I don't think it's too late for you.
No, it's not. It's never too late.
It's not, but it is.
Not for a man.
Because then I'd have to jettison my family to go have a kid somewhere.
Oh, okay.
That's not going to happen.
You don't want to do that.
Right.
Yeah. So what you're saying is,
go for it. Because if you don't take the chance now, then you don't know. Be like, hey, you know what? That worked out great. The one thing I would tweak is this. I didn't realize that would happen.
Well, where would we go, though?
I don't know.
All the swing states. That's what we should do. Just go in there like ready to rumble.
Aaron just wants to get out of Suffolk County.
We'll go to Pennsylvania. We'll go to Wisconsin.
Aaron's like,
Rick's
Six
right.
Flags.
I do want to get out of here.
Kevin will take
Out of
us
Suffolk
to
County,
Michigan.
please.
He knows Michigan. Kevin, we'll bring him out there. He'll introduce us to all the joints there. Come on.
I've just never been anywhere, so I want to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't there that great place that somebody pitched to us?
And it may have been the show a couple of years.
I thought we were going to go to Flobama.
That's the place. I was about to say that. Who
I read
pitched
your
that
mind.
to us?
Who
pitched Flobama to us?
I don't know. I've had many
Wasn't
things
that,
pitched to us that never.
Amy C says, come to Tennessee. We like Tennessee.
I mean, Tennessee, we know
Nashville,
that we can
like
roughly, Nashville area,
Nashville.
we know we could.
We could
Wasn't
pull
it
that
Dr.
off.
Gina who said it?
Yeah, maybe. But
Flobama?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody gave me a theater in Nashville to go to. Was it Ray Stevens Theater?
Yeah.
I think
It
you'd
was
have to
the Ray
ask.
Stevens Theater that I think.
Yeah, it's still in the email.
I think I told Harry to contact the guy, which is why we probably never got a date. But I
How
don't
are we doing on that, Harry?
Never got in touch.
What did he say?
He goes, I never
He said
got
never
to it.
got in touch with me.
Harry called him. He never got back to him.
Do you see? I hope the audience just heard that. I don't know if they could have heard that through Aaron's mic, but this is what I deal with for 23 years with Harry. I give him something and say, Harry, reach out to this guy. Maybe we take the show here. And here we are 8 months later, and I just remembered it now because I'm old and I don't remember things. And then something jogs my memory, and I think, I think I told Harry to do that. And he says, yeah, I never got in touch with the guy.
I think Flo Bama would be awesome.
I don't think it's enough room at John Rich's if we do it right.
Yeah, but what does right look like?
Well, I don't want to start small, Harry. I want to pack out like, 1,000-seat place.
Yeah, but what if you go for 1,000-seat place and you don't pack it out?
Now, John Todd says, come to Mohegan Sun here in Connecticut. Now, now come on. Now we're talking. Put us in the cabaret. Put us in the cabaret 8 to 10 on some night. I mean, come on now. What gets better than that? Who could hook that up?
I don't know.
I love that.
John, are you associated with them? Number one, they should sponsor the odds makers.
That's right.
Yeah.
But number two, what do you mean Big D's overthinking it, David? How am I overthinking it?
David's correct.
Delgado, you're such an ass kisser.
I'm not. I'm just saying I just tried to tell you. I overthought things. Yeah. I'm like, I got to be the perfect time. It's got to be the perfect thing. Everything's got to be perfect.
Aaron,
and nothing is ever perfect. You hear that from people going, I don't know if I'm ready to be a parent. There's no time that they're going to be ready. You just have to dive in. This is one of those times, and it's not forever. Unlike a child, this is just one show.
Ask Harry, he'll get it done, Penny says. Live from Studio 6B, live from the parking garage at Mohegan Sun.
How come Harry's not coming out on the set? We got a seat for Harry. Oh, he left.
I got quiet in the control room for once.
Yeah.
You asked the question. You asked the question. Hey, Harry, did you do that? And he's like, gotta go. Look at the time.
Damon is a planner, but he still bitches about everything. Well, yeah, I do. That's just the way it goes. There's just a certain way I'd want to do the show, and I wouldn't do it any other way. It would have to be the pre-production that I would want to take the show on the road.
Yeah,
would be a big, it's a big deal. I'm not going to just show up and sit down and.
Right.
It's got to be something worthwhile. If you're going to buy a ticket, it's not. I need to just send Delgado out there in his stupid black T-shirt and sit down. I don't.
Right.
People want to see a show, so we got to get like a musical act. I got to get a pre-produced.
Oh, cool.
Like pre-show of some, all the great clips. Maybe we'll throw Delgado's What Even Is That in there once. We'll have Crazy Town, something pre-show that we can watch. We got to come up with, just there's a lot of stuff. But I hear what you're saying. It just if I keep procrastinating on everything,
if you keep trying to make it perfect,
we're never going to play golf. We're never going to go on a cruise.
Correct.
We're never going to go anywhere.
Nope.
You're never going to get that goiter lanced. You're just going to leave it all.
What goiter?
I don't know.
Damon overthinking, Penny says. Okay, fine. It's
by the way,
Penny for your thoughts, right? There you go.
By the way, remember I told you I went to that prison break party?
Yeah.
I sent Fran the pictures. They have them. If you don't believe me, there it is. There's me with Teabag.
Oh my God! Look at this.
And
he was great.
My radio partners of Strawberry and Faye.
Are you like 17 there?
No,
you're probably 30.
This is when the show was on. Is that Sucre? I forget.
Yeah. Yep. In the middle.
Wow.
What else we got?
Let's see. That
was the guy in the jail.
Yep. Billick.
Yep. Wait, do we have the main guys though?
And there's Sarah Wayne.
Yep. She was good.
Yeah, Wentworth was there. I didn't get a picture.
Oh, I loved him too. I loved him.
That's actually Sucre.
Yep. He was great. Loved him.
The other guy was Miles.
Right. So where are the main two guys?
Avoiding Delgado.
I don't think Purcell didn't show up, but Wentworth Miller did show up. There was a picture with just Strawberry and Faye. I was in the bathroom when they took the picture, so I missed that picture.
So your chance to get a picture with Wentworth, you went to the bathroom?
I was in the bathroom when he came out. Mm-hmm. Like they didn't
warming your socks?
Yeah. I was blowing my socks.
Drag Blackett said Delgado looks like an Italian greaser in those photos. I think he looks good, Dave.
No, you look good. You look young. You look good.
That was 20 years ago.
Come to Mohegan, play golf there, and do the show.
Yeah, I said you were about 30.
Well, I know that I can play at the Mohegan course like free any day that I want. But it's not actually at Mohegan. It's like they do a thing off-site, I believe.
So
like
what is
way
that?
off-site?
Now that I think about it.
Long Island.
Oh, here we go.
I think someone from Mohegan Sun actually wrote into the one of our social medias once.
What'd they say?
And said that
don't ever come here.
Said, stay away.
Stop mentioning us on your show and don't ever come here.
No, I think they said they worked there or something. I don't remember exactly who it was. Maybe in the sports book.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe they liked odds makers. Was there somebody with odds makers?
I should have asked them to sponsor the odds makers this year.
Oh, that would have been so.
But if we could go up there and get into the cabaret, but I can't imagine that you could do that.
Nah, especially,
Or the Wolf Den, but that's something.
Oh, wait a minute. Harry's back.
Harry.
Well, what do you mean, Harry? Imus used to go there. He did his morning show there.
Come on, Harry, sit in with us.
Yeah, but that's Imus.
Why don't you sit down, Harry, instead of standing in the dark?
We'll frame it up later.
Don't just don't walk in front of the camera. Walk around the desk. There you go. Very good. What are you drinking?
Harry on the highway.
Okay.
Here he is.
All right, Harry on the highway is going to sit down. So if you have questions for Harry,
it's Yellow Bull.
Harry's really the reason that we haven't gone on the road.
Let's just blame Harry.
Harry's holding us back.
Not the reason.
As you just heard.
I just asked
a perfect example
for the one to go, literally, as Rick said, up the road, right? Just go up the road. You guys can walk there. It's so close.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. America's Warehouse.
Well, Harry just, I don't know. Look at the camera, Harry, so Aaron can frame you up so you look good. You look good, Harry.
Thank you.
How you feeling?
Look, Harry.
Thank God I feel great.
You look great.
Yeah, 2 years, cancer-free. So
Nice.
I feel like a rock star. Yeah. Keep the.
That's good
hopefully,
stuff.
I'll be here next year to say 3 years.
No, come on now. You're gonna
Come on,
don't say that. You're on
You
the
got
road.
plenty of years left, brother.
You're on the road, Harry. You're a fighter, and we love you.
Yes.
Harry.
But no,
Harry. Ruby
I
Ivy
mean,
says.
I really believe. Hey guys, I really believe we should go on the road, right? We should at least go on the
Jolene
road.
says, "Welcome to Time to Blame Harry Night."
It is. Yeah. Oh yeah, when I'm on the road,
every night, Jolene.
guys,
That's every night.
When I'm on the road, people come up to me, and they'll talk to me, and then they say, those guys, that Damon, not even those guys, that Damon is really rough on you. And I say, listen, Damon and I go back 20 years. It's just a shtick. We love each other.
I love that people still that. I
they
don't know.
really believe it. I'm like,
I know.
no,
There's something about that. I kind of get a comedic. I get a chuckle out of that.
Yeah.
People actually think.
But it makes me feel good when I
Just
see you
having
guys
fun.
beat up on him. That's good. Just beat up on him.
Yeah, I love it. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I know you don't. Just
David Lacrosse in the YouTube chat. I was not high in those pictures.
Oh,
Well, how old were you? Is that about 13 years?
That was
ago?
20. That was 20 years ago, man.
20 years. Okay, I was saying 10 to 20. Okay.
probably 35 years ago.
Someone said, "How about a live show at Woody's?"
Nah.
I don't think the people at Woody's really
How about
kinda
we start
know
at
the
the
exposure.
First American Warehouse? How about let's just start a block away where we can take a walk there and do it? I mean,
I know, but see, I don't want to get into a production conversation here, Harry. But I don't. If we can't do the show, hence what you're looking at, 4 boxes. I don't want to do it.
I know. We have to get an upgraded, an upgrade. But
if we can't play clips, if we can't use our boxes, if we can't do our show, I don't want to go do it.
Right. And I believe we can, when I speak to
Joe the Box.
Mr. Parker. No, Mr. Parker, I think we can get the piece of little gear that we need here to get to that level. I don't think that's a big problem. But
Sergeant.
I also believe, real quick, starting if we really want to go on the road out of Long Island.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to go to the people.
To the people.
Yes.
I think we should start with John Rich's Redneck Riviera. And why do I say that? Because it's a first little tiptoe. It's a tiptoe where we can do at least 2 or 3 shows that day if we wanted to, or just one broadcast or over 2 nights.
Harry, we're talking about Studio 6B.
I know. They know
This
us
show.
there. They know us there.
They do know us.
Right?
I love Joe.
Right? They just put a production facility in. We'd probably just have to bring our TriCaster. I just think John Rich's place would be a first good. Let's go explore and see if I believe that room holds 120 people. That's just my suggestion.
Yeah.
So if you think I'm right, to go into the chat and say, Harry, maybe you should just start at John Rich's. And he's a friendly, right? Damon and I did check a few other theaters, and we got shot down, believe it or not, guys. Because some of them were non-for-profits, which we didn't know that they were.
Well, that was only one. That was the What's that town?
I don't want to mention it
because
it was.
I've already mentioned it. I don't care.
Okay, because it was a great theater. Don't get me wrong, and they were good for us when we did our production there.
The Franklin Theater.
Theater.
The Franklin Theater.
Exactly
Franklin, Tennessee. Just turned us down. They said they won't do anything political.
They won't do anything political.
They were frank about it, all right.
Yeah, they were pretty frank about it. Yeah, but
So Redneck Riviera, we could go back there.
I think we should as a step
100
one.
tickets.
Oh, you were there.
That would be like, how would we even?
He did. He should show up.
I saw. I watched that
Yeah,
show.
He showed up. Yeah,
He was in the background.
Yeah, I was there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Sergeant Arby in the YouTube chat says, Big D, just take everyone to Dave & Buster's, have some golf, pizza, show, everything covered. There you go.
Well, that would be great too. It's right up the block.
Yeah, it's right up the street.
We could go to Dave & Buster's.
Is there a golf course in? Is there a golf course in Nashville that anybody who wanted to play golf with us, we could just meet up?
Well, there is.
We could do a meet up and play golf too.
I did it.
So you
I
could do
did
it
an
before
event.
the show?
I did an event at the
that morning, and then we do the show at night.
I did an event at a golf
would be
course,
fun.
and we do know the facility and
Do a dinner somewhere, maybe?
Carol Ha, HA says, just get off the pot anywhere.
well, again, we could start down the block. come to Long Island for the big barbecue on the 13th.
We go back to Nashville. I can see my girl Peggy.
Yeah.
Peggy
Also,
writes me emails all the time.
all these folks in the chat can get on a
Also,
plane or in a
that
car and come see
gentleman we met, Damon, the music director, producer that we met.
Yeah,
He would
Michael
come.
Curtis.
Michael Curtis.
You can't remember his name, Harry?
I
Took
can't,
us all over.
buddy. Ever since the chemo, I can't remember a lot of people's names. It's just I just can't remember.
And you know what's good about Nashville?
How good was that trip, by the way?
Yeah, amazing. It was going down music history.
You know what's good about Nashville, though? It's a bucket list thing for a lot of people. So if they haven't gone, it's like this gives them an excuse to be like, you know what, we can knock this out. We can go to Nashville
Right.
You know what I mean?
We do a Friday night show, and we could do a special Saturday night show.
Well, I don't know about that. Come on.
Delgado can't be out on the weekends.
I can't be out on the weekends. I gotta have some me time here, Harry. I haven't been to Nashville.
Maybe
either.
Slick. You don't play golf, right?
No, I mean I could go out and hold my own if I had to.
I could be a caddy for somebody.
Twice.
Nobody wants to see that, Slick.
No,
Delgado, you ever play golf?
Yes.
No, you do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
An executive golf course up in Connecticut when I worked up there.
Really?
Really?
Oh, so you've played golf before?
Yes. I was quite terrible at it.
Man, you worked everywhere.
Harry, you've never played, right?
I could play a mean game of putt-putt golf. I can caddy your bag for you, Big D.
No, you could drive the cart.
And I could drive the cart. That I can do really well. Drive
Really
that little
fast,
golf
too.
cart. And fast. Get a slicked out one with a 60.
We'll have more than one cart, Aaron, so you
address
could
the
drive
ball.
one too.
Hello, ball.
We'll get Patriot Mobile to sponsor the cart and give out
Fran,
free cell phones.
what would you like to do?
I'll meet you back at the clubhouse.
LFS6B on the road, Nashville. Golf in the morning.
Yeah.
Do a little, see how many people want to join us. I don't know how many foursomes we could get someplace. We could do a little meetup there, play.
That's for Saturday.
Then we could do a little,
Sorry.
maybe we could do a dinner somewhere. And then go do the show. Or we could just do all that at John Rich's place.
We could just do a pizza night before the show.
I mean, that is kind of our thing. We could do a pizza thing.
I'll promise if you go there, I'll bring you pizza. I'll order it in for craft services.
See, Deborah says Redneck Riviera is pretty small. Exactly.
Listen, for a first time out on the road, we can fit 200. And the reason why I know
Harry wants to give us training wheels.
right now, our buddies over at the comedy show we did over at America First, Michael Loftus is there tonight. Last night, Thursday, and filmed a second special there. So I know the production company that's there.
Now, Stevie, who did I just see? Why can't I? Someone just said they have a golf course. I have an executive course in South Dakota that would be perfect for you guys. Stevie Ray on X said.
I feel like
that's a little bit of a longer trip.
Yeah, I feel like that guy's reached out to us before.
Mm-hmm.
P1 firefighter on the YouTube. Dude, I don't know what happened to my head.
What does that mean?
He just said what happened to Delgado's head. I'm like, I don't know.
Tammy says she wants to play golf with us. So
get a few wise ass trolls in this chat.
Good
see
fun.
now, Randy on YouTube says you good boys have a better chance of seeing the sphere. Come on, stop it.
That's a little bit too far.
Either sphere or near.
All right,
It's not a sphere or there.
No,
I don't know. We'll have to think about it.
Oh, great.
I think
more thinking.
Forget the golf.
Well, can I at least make a call and see if we can get a golf course that we'd have to see how many people. I mean, there's, it's not like just throw it together.
No.
We got to do it right.
Golf outing takes a while.
Golf is seasonal, right? Golf season's coming to an end. So when are we going to do it?
It's a little late.
Not in Nashville,
so why don't we
right?
just do a show? Go to Nashville for a show. Forget about the golf for now.
Site survey.
Get all the bugs worked out and be like, all right, now we can kind of fine tune from here. Mm-hmm. See, Harry's with me.
You got it. I hear
Mark Cruz says, "How about doing the show from the sheets?" Now we're talking.
Dude, we have enough problems doing the show here.
We can do it at Cannes. No, we got the best production team.
I'm kidding.
Can't forget it. Delgado won't be able to keep his head up. His head will swivel the whole night.
All right.
You think I missed a picture with Wentworth Miller?
What is it? It's 9 after the hour. Did Trump ever take the stage?
Yeah.
He did.
8:45, he hit it.
I heard Lee Greenwood,
8:45, he hit it.
All right. So what else is going on here? Anything while you're here?
No, we're ramping up. We had a call with the Trump team yesterday, and
don't be giving away any secrets.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it's going to be a busy 60-something days. That's
67 days.
It's going to be busy.
Did they give you a head nod?
Is a lot. It could be as much as 3 to 5 a day.
Wow.
And that's between Vance and Trump. So it's, but still, I mean, because they're jet setting. I have a feeling RFK is also going to get on the trail on some of those markets and areas we were talking about that he should hit and try to convert some people over.
I think
that will. Yeah. Yep. So it's going to be busy. It's going to be a busy time to election.
I like the town hall. Trump
I love
town hall, and that's what Damon was said last night. That's what he should do. He's
been saying it for 2 years now.
And it's so natural too.
It is,
and he's
that's sort of what he's doing tonight. If Fran wants to do a peek on YouTube with Moms for Liberty, it's Tiffany, the Moms for Liberty leader, and Trump on a stage. So it's not him, at a podium like he was earlier today. So it's more relaxed. And I think you get more out of the true feeling of the president that way.
No question.
That's my feeling.
Harry, do you have any update on Steve Bannon? People want to know.
Oh yeah.
Besides, I didn't know. I haven't spoken to him, but I spoke to Monica Crowley, and of course I speak to Maureen Bannon all the time. And Dad's doing well. Maureen's his daughter. Dad's doing well. Steve's doing really well, and he just keeps saying, just the biggest thing you can do for him is don't pity me, don't cry for me. He'll be out, in 2 months. Just make sure you go out and vote. That is the biggest thing. And something I heard, which is mind-boggling to me, So I was talking to a few people on some teams that obviously are heavily involved with Republicans and elections. And one of the comments I said is, why, these rallies are expensive and we're out there doing these rallies. And the polling company I was talking to said, well, you realize that almost 30% of these people that go to these rallies don't vote. They love Trump, they love the president, but they haven't voted in a presidential election in 1 to 2 years. And I found that mind-boggling because you think the MAGA people would go. So how can we help President Trump get over here? It's just, guys, just make sure you go out and vote. I'm on the road all the time. I do early voting here in Suffolk County. It's an easy thing to do. You can mail it in. You can do early voting if your state has it, or just go vote on election day. That's the only way he's going to win. That's the only way. Otherwise, everybody's just a big blabbermouth saying we want change, we want this. But if you don't go out and vote, and that's what Steve said, just you gotta go out and vote.
Oh, people will this year. It's going to be record numbers.
I hope so.
Yeah, you don't want to sleep on it. I get it.
I'm not feeling too good today. It's you know what? You could have voted. I think early voting here in New York starts as early as 6 weeks before Election Day, right?
After what we saw last night, everybody get their ass out.
Well, that's another thing. I watched it. I didn't watch you guys.
That's danger. That thing runs the country.
I watched the whole thing, and it was just she was. I think it was a total of 18 minutes of her and him basically on camera. Yeah. That CNN had to do wraparounds, had to go to the reporter that actually interviewed outside for whatever reason, and had to recap what was going on. It was crazy.
I heard they taped 60 minutes and over 30 minutes is on the floor. I'd love to see what that looks like.
You're never going to because they won't release it. But I got to tell you, CNN. CNN, ever since the first, obviously, the debate that got rid of Biden, CNN have changed a lot.
I've noticed it.
I'm telling you, it's almost the old CNN. If we remember the Iraq War, right, with the Scud missiles with Wolf Blitzer, when I really respected CNN and you respected Wolf Blitzer, because you did, right? You can't say you didn't, guys. You did, right? It was respectable. He was respectable. It was a respectable network when it first came out, before they changed. But I think after that debate, because they were getting so much criticism, tons of criticism, they're going to screw up. No, they were hard. They were hard on that. And that sort of changed CNN. I'm not saying that they've come all the way over, but that changed the way the reporters are handling it. Because you got to remember, CNN had a countdown clock. 3 days and you haven't gone back to us to say you're going to do an interview. And finally, she bowed down to do this interview with her father, which was just ridiculous. Other thing that was ridiculous on a production value is that she was the shortest person in the room.
Yeah, I noticed
should have never been. Put her on a crate, get her stool up, but
or put him in
vice
a
president
slightly lower
or
chair.
put him down.
Yeah.
Vice president here, and she was here. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, the production value was.
And do you say? Did CNN do that on purpose?
And by the way, Harry, CNN sucks. They always suck. Suck.
I'm not saying they're a Fox, but I'm saying they did.
They suck too, by the way.
Yeah, they suck too.
They may suck worse.
I know. Listen, you got us. We're the best. And
all right. Well, we've been jabbering. This has been fun, actually. I like doing this.
Let's
That's
see.
enough from Harry.
Speaking of voting, believe it or not, who said this here? Damon, according to Frederick Leathers, Damon just found 20,000 ones he wants to add into the totals here.
Damon found what?
20,000 ones.
Yeah, I just saw a trailer pull up.
Yeah, I just got a box here underneath the desk. It's all ones, so I win.
Yeah.
Aaron, let's pull up a little bit of Trump. Let's listen to what he's. I don't want to miss the whole thing. Us talking nonsense. Let's listen to a little bit of what he's doing.
We built hundreds of miles, and then we had a little bit more.
Who's
that
the
I was
host here?
going to
I missed
add.
it. I can't tell who that is.
That is
Moms for Liberty.
Yes,
right.
yes.
And we had everything
Tiffany.
fabricated.
I
very
don't know her
expensive
last
wall.
name.
Those walls
Wonderful
are
lady.
expensive.
Met her a
They're
bunch of
steel,
times.
concrete,
She
and
is
rebar.
first class.
And
She's
they have
got
a lot of
heck of
wiring
an
in them for all
organization
sorts of security
to grab all
equipment.
these moms around the
But it's very
country.
expensive stuff. It's exactly what Border Patrol wanted. They have anti-climb bars and everything on them. So we did them. It could have been erected in 3 weeks. And they kept saying, we're not going to do it. And then I realized they weren't going to do it. And they sold much of that wall for 5 cents on the dollar. So, that's when I realized they actually want open borders. Because you say to yourself, who would want open borders? Who would want men playing in women's sports? I mean, just think of this stuff. No, but who would want that? All the things.
Kamala Harris, apparently.
Yeah. No, she wants it. You talk about like cars. I'm a big fan of Elon. Elon gave me tremendous endorsement. It's good, isn't it? He's gonna have to send a rocket up to get those people out of there. That's crazy. He's great. I said, when are you sending a rocket up? Well, Elon is a very different kind of a guy. As he thinks, he talks. Whereas a lot of people, they want the words to be perfect and all. And they think less and talk more. Right? With Elon, it's like, well,
He's doing the
a
interview
new
style, which is looking much more relaxed.
hub
I love that look.
that can get us around the engines much quicker because there's a problem with the type of
She is
engine
a
going into space
amazing host.
nowadays. And I'm hearing but in the end, I think we can have a good hookup because of the new foils that are coming up. And I'm hearing everything that's going through his mind. But he's a super genius guy.
Oh, I loved that conversation that you had on Twitter. I listened
we
to the
did?
whole thing. I thought that was absolutely fantastic.
I think we're going to do another one too. They had a number, like I heard 750 million. They had a number that was so crazy and large. And we had a good time. We talked for 2.5 hours. And it was the number one ever. There's never been anything like it in terms of people listening or watching or whatever. But he's a great guy. But I said to him, the one thing is that, and I'm a huge fan of his electric car. I think it's incredible, his car. I think what he does, and I'm a big fan of electric, but they don't go far, and they are expensive, and China does have the material. We have gasoline, more gasoline than anybody else has, I call it liquid gold. We have liquid gold. But, and electric absolutely has a place. You know, you have electric, but you have to have gasoline-powered cars and hybrid-powered cars, and maybe hydrogen is going to be next, who knows? But, you know, the things that they're proposing. You know, it's interesting. I mentioned men playing in women's sports. So the Olympics, we watched the Olympics, right? And did you see the boxing situation, right?
Yes, sir, we did.
So you had this beautiful champion Italian female boxer, and she was supposed to be very good against women. And I was watching it for some reason. I find it very interesting. And she was fighting a person that transitioned. And I wouldn't want to fight this person, but transitioned and met certain qualifications.
So can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
Because Elon, you're talking about Elon Musk. Elon Musk recently did an interview with Jordan Peterson, and he talked about the fact that one of his children has decided that they're transgender. He talked about the woke mind virus. When you look at Tim Walz, who is now Kamala Harris's running partner, he has made his state a sanctuary city, sir, which means that a sanctuary state, for children, that they can go there and have gender surgeries paid for by the government. And so I just ask you, there's been an explosion in the number of children who identify as transgender, and children are being taught that they were born in the wrong body. It's an incredibly abusive message to send. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you might be able to do as president.
Well, you can do everything. President has such power. It has such power. For instance, you can close the border. You don't need a bill. You know, they keep saying, well, just give us a bill. They had the worst bill I've ever seen. It was a disaster. And they wouldn't have signed it anyway, because they do want open borders. They want to have open borders. They want to have all sorts of things that almost nobody in this room wants, who I think 85–90% of the country doesn't want if they actually
I absolutely agree with you.
But the transgender thing is incredible. Think of it. Your kid goes to school and comes home a few days later with an operation. The school decides what's going to happen with your child. And you know, many of these childs 15 years later say, what the hell happened? Who did this to me? They say, who did this to me? It's incredible. Just to finish that boxing, so the Italian girl is, and the left is not a hard punch for those of you not into pugilistic affairs. But a left is just sort of a guarding punch, right? So she's fighting this person that transgendered, and the guy, boom, hits her with a left. It was like she got hit by a horse. And then she backed up, and it was weird. She sort of like, and then he hits her with another left, and she said, that's enough, I can't take that. He ended up winning the gold medal. And there was another one who also transgendered, and he or she ended up also winning the gold medal. Tiffany said it, I didn't. See, I'm a politician, I have to be politically correct.
I'm a mom, I have to protect my kids.
No, but think of it. So the two people, the transgender, the whole thing is crazy. Have you seen the swimming records lately?
Oh, my goodness.
How about the weightlifting records? That's one of the best. You know, a record that was like for 18 years, they'd put a quarter of an ounce on one side, quarter of an ounce, a little bit on one, a little bit, and thing held for 18 years. This guy walks along, what did he beat the record by? 115 pounds. It's crazy. The volleyball, where a championship volleyball player is playing against a team, and one or two of the people had transitioned, and the ball was hit so hard into the head of the other girl on the other side that she was knocked out, had a concussion, and she said, she was a championship player, like an all-American player. She said, I played volleyball all my life. I've never seen a ball travel at that speed. It's crazy. And even with all of that, they won't change. And you know what? Everyone's afraid to talk about it.
Not
even
me.
the people, not Tiffany. Not Tiffany.
We're going to fight to keep our girls safe, President Trump. We're going to fight to make sure that our girls have privacy and safety in their bathrooms, and that they have Kristi Noem, I think, said it best. She said, "We will not allow mediocre men to beat extraordinary women."
Yeah. That's right. It's also very demeaning to women. I don't know how they get away with it, but the Olympics was the best thing that I've seen, because you really see when these boxers came out, it was so ridiculous, and they just go through it like nothing. And why should women have to, swimming too, why should women have to compete? Now, it's sort of hard to get in. I don't know how these two people got in, but they got in, because in some cases, they weren't allowed in, so they have a crazy standard going on. But it's so demeaning to women, and women are working so hard to make a team or to make a record. And these records that are being set now by people that transitioned will not be broken.
That's right.
Maybe 1,000 years from now by a woman, I don't know. But they're not going to be broken by
You're right.
a woman. It's a very sad thing. And Kamala is totally in favor. Now, she's gone away from everything. She's called the greatest flip-flopper in history. She loves fracking now. She said, "There will never be fracking. We will never frack. And everything that she said would do, she's now doing it. There's like 12 or 14 things. There's never been anything like this. And in one way, it makes you very dishonest, because I could see somebody throughout history, people have gone into one or two areas where there's a difference. You like something, and then all of a sudden but almost every single thing. In fact, we're seriously thinking about sending her tomorrow a MAGA hat, because she loves everything we're doing. So we're going to send her a nice, bright red, Make America Great Again hat.
You should do that. I loved when J.D. Vance said that he thought maybe she might come out at the debate with a blue suit and a red tie on.
That's right. That could happen. It's crazy.
So, President Trump, our moms are busy women, and they have families and busy lives, right? And many of them never thought that they would get involved in politics and run. Did you ever think about running for office at other times in your lives? And then just some advice, because you come under fire a lot. Our moms are standing for things that often the media attacks them on. We'd love to get some advice from you about running for office.
Yeah. So, I would say don't do it.
No, run for office. We want you to run for office.
I do say this, though. It is nastier to run as a Republican than it is. Now, I'm the ultimate, they suffer from a thing called TDS. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
TDS, it's a horrible, horrible terminal disease. It destroys the mind. It destroys the mind before the body, but the body eventually goes. TDS is Trump derangement syndrome. They have it at levels. They can't even stand their life. They can't stand anything. And part of the reason is I won an election which everybody said couldn't be won. Couldn't be won for a lot of reasons. Number one, he had never done it before. It's not that easy to be a politician. You have to have something. And we won, and we really did a great job. We rebuilt the military. We gave the largest tax cuts ever, the largest regulation cuts. In terms of health, we did something that was amazing. We had right to try. We have the greatest scientists in the world, greatest doctors in the world, greatest laboratories in the world, better than anybody else, much better than China. China's very good, but much better. Acknowledged. And we have things to fight off diseases that will not be approved for another 5 or 6 years, that people that are very sick, terminally ill, should be able to use, but there was no mechanism for doing it. And I got everybody into a room. The insurance companies didn't want to allow it because they're terminally ill. They don't want to do it because then they'll get sued for somebody dying even though they're terminally ill. The states didn't want it. The government didn't want it, the federal government. Most of all, the doctors and the labs didn't want it because they didn't want to say that we're going to try and make somebody better. They didn't get better, and now everyone's going to say whatever it is doesn't work. And I got them all into a room, everybody, and I said, here's what we're doing. You're going to sign these documents. Nobody's going to have liability. If somebody wants to come, because they'd fly to Asia, they'd fly to Europe, most of them didn't have money, they'd go home and they'd die. It was a hopeless situation. But if they had money, they'd go to Asia, they'd go to Europe. We have much better technology. And what in a room, I said, listen, there's not going to be any liability. People are going to sign a document that they're not going to sue the country, they're not going to sue the state, they're not going to sue the doctors or the medical platforms. They're not going to sue anybody. They just want the drug. And we have saved thousands and thousands of lives. It's amazing. It actually worked out differently. The drug companies now are liking it to a certain extent because it's the ultimate test. Somebody's terminally ill, and all of a sudden they get better, and it's happening with thousands. And I got that done. They've been trying for 60 years to get it done, and we got it done. They don't have to fly away. And it's really had the reverse. People were finding cures to things that when a terminally ill person, a person that's almost ready to die, goes in and starts taking something, and now all of a sudden that person gets better. It's an amazing thing, and we save thousands of lives. So we've done a lot of things.
We'll talk about parental rights if we could for a little bit. We're a parental rights organization, and we saw Terry McAuliffe lose his bid for governor in Virginia. Remember that?
Yeah. I actually do remember that.
And he said famously that he didn't think that parents should be making decisions about what their children were learning in school. And we believe that every parent has a fundamental right to direct the upbringing of their children, right? And that includes their education. So what do you plan to do at the federal level to help us to protect parental rights and education freedom like school choice?
Okay, so I like to say that we're the party of common sense. I mean, we're conservative and all of that. Walls are common sense, right? All of the things we're talking about, no men and women sports, no gender operation. I mean, there's these operations, it's crazy. I don't know if you know, Europe has gone totally away from it now.
Yes, sir.
We're way behind them. They don't do it anymore. And this is just horrible. But who could even believe this is happening? So think of it, you have these parents that end up in fistfights at school meetings, and the parents mean well. They end up getting arrested, put in prison. I've seen things, especially Loudoun County, right? Loudoun County, it's a hotbed. Anybody from Loudoun? I have the property. I have the big, great golf course there, right on the. I offered. You had the head of one of your groups that was very impressive to me, and I said, anytime you want to use my land along the Potomac River, right under the American flag. I mean, I have sort of an unlimited capacity there. It's a lot of acres, and it's miles along the Potomac. It's truly beautiful. But I'm for parental rights all the way. I don't even understand the concept of not being.
Thank you.
No, but when you see some of the things,
neither do we.
When you see some of the things, that's another. Why would somebody want to have an open wall? When you see some of the things that they want people to do in these school boards, and they become like dictatorships, and the parents are screaming for the life of their child, a lot having to do with transgender, a lot having to do with a lot of other things, you've got to give the parents truly love the kids, okay? Some of these people on the boards, I think they don't like the kids very much, what they're doing. So you have to give the rights back to the parents. And I can't imagine it. Well, okay, this administration has been the opposite. This administration, it's like the FBI goes after the people. Like it's some kind of an insurrection. It's crazy.
Sir. They called us domestic terrorists, President Trump,
for
speaking out at school board meetings.
Well, we'll change that on the first day, I promise you. No, can you believe it? You are not a domestic terrorist or a terrorist. We do have terrorists coming in, and they're coming in by the thousands, but you're not one, Tiffany.
Thank you very much.
We'll get that changed. And the president can do that very easily. But you just wonder, where's the mindset? to take the parents' rights, I see those meetings, and it does seem like Loudoun has a lot, that Loudoun is the ultimate example of it. It's so vocal. But tell the people in Loudoun County, if you would like to be on the Potomac River, beautiful, having a picnic and talking about taking your rights back, where you're allowed to say, could my son study a little bit of arithmetic instead of something else?
Could we teach the kids to
that he
read?
should? That's correct.
That's right.
Yeah, let's teach him how to read, please. So, let them know that, though. That would be my honor.
I absolutely will, and thank you for that. We appreciate the support.
Thank you.
So, Tina Deskovich, the co-founder of Moms for Liberty, and I, we do a lot of interviews, and there's a lot of international interest, specifically Japan. We get asked for a lot of interviews, and we were talking with a reporter, and we said, why is there so much interest in Moms for Liberty in Japan? And he said, we are watching America's light dim. And we're very concerned, and we want to know what you're doing about it, and you guys are doing something. And so I feel like America is slipping back from the freedom and liberty and the beacon of light that we've been. So how will you take us forward?
We're a nation in decline. We are. And it's because of the people that we have leading our nation. We are a nation. I say this, and I said it a little bit in 2016, and I meant it. We had a bad border, but it was like unbelievably good compared to what we have now. I mean, we had a bad border, but it was a regular bad border. This is a border the likes of which there's never been anything like it. This is a horrible, many people are killed coming up in the caravans. It's rough stuff. You go through snake country, you go through, it's just these what happens. And by the way, remember I said rape when I first came? Well, rape is massive percentages of women are being raped and just beat to hell coming up in the caravans. It's, I say this, look, this is a very sophisticated audience. Mothers give their girls big bottles of birth control pills because they know bad things are happening to their daughters coming up. And we're allowing it to happen. We're telling them, come up, we're going to give you education, we're going to give you this. We're getting them to come up. If you say the border is closed, and it is closed, people aren't going to even come up. Those journeys up, when you talk about death, many people are dying, especially women. Many people are dying on the trips up. They're being mutilated, and it is a nasty. And when I first came, I said, I used the word rape. I remember I got great marks for the speech when I first announced I was running. I remember in the lobby of Trump Tower. And 2 days later, I think the Times called, did you say rape? I got great marks. They said it was a great speech. And then they said, did he say rape? And I said, yeah, I said rape. That's what's happening. Tremendous levels. And after that, it was like, that's when it all began. And it was like, incredible what they said. Well, what I said is nothing compared to what the fact is. It is a horrible thing. Those caravans are mean. And you have people, 10 to 20, 25,000 people coming up in these massive caravans. And there's tremendous death and injury and problems that nobody would even believe. And we're causing this. But I did mention that word, and now everyone's saying, Trump was right. But you have to go through hell, and you have to say it. And, I respect you so much because you speak up. Like you said, no, we're all for that, right? Very few people would say what Tiffany said a couple of moments ago about something that was a little bit controversial, that shouldn't be controversial at all. But they just wouldn't do it. So when you said that, I said, that's refreshing to hear.
Thank you. I just want to thank you for taking the time to meet with so many of the victims' families of crime that we've seen. Lake and Riley's family, for example. I'm just going to ask, what is that experience like for you, meeting with the parents of children who are being killed by illegal immigrants?
It's terrible. They're being killed by illegal aliens. There's no correct term, because any term you use, they criticize you. You shouldn't use the word alien. You shouldn't use the word migrant. They want to take all the words away so that you can't talk about the subject anymore.
That's exactly right.
But Lakin was this beautiful young woman who was savagely beaten and killed by a migrant. But there are many of them. There are many of them. I can tell you the parents will never be the same. I was at the border 3 days ago with 3 people, 2 where their child was killed, and 1 where she was badly injured. Beautiful woman. She was badly hurt. They stole her car. She tried to stop them, and they ran her over, and this and that. She was, thought she was going to be dead, but she had a terrible fracture of the head. And I had a case that was very interesting. The 13 people that were killed in Afghanistan, you all know about that. That was grossly incompetent. Getting out was fine because I was going to get out. I would have been out before them, but we had an election that happened. But we would have been out with dignity and strength. We would have taken the military out last, not first. They took the military out first. But they had 13 people killed, and I got to know many of the families of the 13. It was a terrible, tragic thing. None of them should have died. Those people were essentially killed by a stupid administration that didn't know what they're doing, and bad generals like Milley, who was a bad general. And, nobody was fired. It was the most incompetent. I think it's the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, the way it happened. Remember the planes taking off and people falling off the planes. Many people fell to their death. They were hanging onto the wings. They probably thought they could take the plane and fly on the plane, and they didn't realize the plane's going 500 miles an hour. And they fell off at 3,000 feet. That's 3 times the height of the Empire State Building. They fell off. They started falling off, and then they all were off, and a lot of people. But it was a horrible, horrible moment. But you had 13 people killed, many people badly injured, meaning no legs. We had 1, no arm, no legs, and the arm that was left was battered. Face was badly hurt. And these are people, this is just horrible casualties. But I got to know the people. I felt very badly, and they viewed me as their president, frankly. And I don't want to do anything about it. I don't want to say that, but they viewed me. And everybody knew because it was covered, but not covered like the press should cover it. The press doesn't talk about bad things. They don't talk about what happened in Afghanistan anymore with the Taliban, with that horrible leaving. It wasn't the leaving. It was great to leave because, they were there for like 20 years and we were leaving, but we were going to keep Bagram, which is one of the biggest Air Force bases in the world. And we were keeping it not because of Afghanistan, but because of China, because it was 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. So we were keeping that. And it would have been fine, but it was time now to turn it over. Despite the threat to democracy, I did turn that over. I didn't say, they said, he'll never give it over. These people are crazy. They're crazy. But anyway, so I gave it over, and then they took over. And I didn't have anybody killed in Afghanistan for 18 months. I had a long talk with the head of the Taliban, who's really the boss. And his name is Abdul, and I said, Abdul, don't do it, don't do it. And you don't do it. And he said, but why, sir? Why do you send me a picture of my home? Abdul, you'll have to figure that one out. He went, but why do you send me a picture of my home, Your Excellency? He called me Your Excellency. And he was fine. Look, I said, you can't do it. You can't do it. You hit any. They had snipers that were killing our people. Our wonderful soldiers, snipers from a long distance. And we didn't lose one person in 18 months. And then we had this catastrophe happen, which should have never happened. We had them in good shape, but we had to get out. It's ridiculous that we were there. And the catastrophe happened. And it would have been fine, but we had them in good shape. It was time we had to get out. It's ridiculous that we were there. Despite the threat to democracy, I did. The catastrophe happened. And it would have been fine, but we had them in good shape. It was time we had to get out. It's ridiculous. Despite the threat to democracy, I did. The catastrophe happened. And it would have been fine, but we had. I was going to get out. I brought it down to the number of men, but we had to keep out. years ago for billions of dollars. But he says, sir, we should leave the equipment behind. Why? Well, it's much less expensive. I said, wait a minute. We got $150 million airplane, and we could fill it up with a little gas, a tank of airplane fuel, and fly it to Pakistan or fly it all the way back home. You think it's cheaper to leave it? And it's a new plane. You think it's cheaper? You think it's cheaper to leave Army tanks where we could put them in a trailer and take? Yes, sir, it's cheaper. I said, this guy is really bad. It's true. And that's when I lost total respect for the guy. I didn't have a lot because, you never got good news. I want people where there's good news, Like the general I used to knock out I knocked out 100% of ISIS. It was supposed to take 5 years. It took about 4 weeks, right? We have a great military. I'll tell you, I had a great general in charge of that, and he knocked the hell out of him. He said, sir, I can do it in about 4 weeks. They said, why didn't they do it before? Sir, they didn't want to really fight. They wanted to be politically correct, sir. But it was amazing. We have, I just say to this room, we have a great military. And our real military is not going to be woke. You couldn't convince them to be woke if you screamed at them all day for the next 10 years. But the guys on television are woke, and a lot of the top people are woke, but they'll all be gone pretty quick. They're going to all be gone. You get them out. You get them out.
When I was in Milwaukee, I got to meet some of the Gold Star families. And yes, sir.
Yeah, we had a big problem. So I was called by these families. There were probably 4 of them. There was also somebody very badly injured with the legs and everything. And they asked me, would it be possible 2 days ago, right, to go to Arlington National Cemetery to celebrate the life of their children who had been killed 3 years ago. And this was the whole thing, the whole disaster in Afghanistan, where they set off a bomb and probably 500 people were killed altogether. And we got to think of the other side also, but it was a terrible thing. But we lost 13 soldiers. We had 45 soldiers that were really badly hurt too. Nobody ever talks. You ever notice somebody loses their leg? The whole disaster in Afghanistan, where they set off a bomb and probably 500 people were killed altogether. And we got to think of the other side also, but it was a terrible thing. But we lost 13 soldiers. We had 45 soldiers that were really badly hurt too. Nobody ever talks. You ever notice somebody loses their leg or both legs or their arm? In one case, an arm and 2 legs. And nobody ever talks about them. They talk about, because we have to remember that those people are, nobody ever talks about them. And we had some people that were horrifically injured. Anyway, they called and they said, sir, would you be able to come? Now, I got to know them because I have a place in Bedminster, New Jersey, which is a spectacular place, and they wanted to know whether they like New Jersey. New Jersey is good. New Jersey is some of the most beautiful things. But so this is a beautiful place, and I had most of the families there about a year and a half ago, and they all wanted to know whether or not I'd be showing up. I didn't know if I could. And when I heard they were there, I went out and I saw them, and they thought I was going to stay for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, shake everyone's hand and leave. I ended up staying with them like for 4.5 hours. We listened to music up with the members. We have this beautiful deck overlooking everything, and you're looking at the sky, great food, a very luxurious place. I mean, it's beautiful. And we had, I don't know, like 20, 25 people, members of the family of these 13 people, of most of the 13. And we ended up listening to music, Elvis and Elton John and everybody. And certain songs were very sad, and I'd point to the sky. I said, your son is looking down at you, and he's very proud. Oh, the people, it was like crazy. I was with him like for 4.5 hours. So my 15 minutes, do you think we could get him to stay for 15 minutes? Could he sign something, a picture of my son? So I ended up staying there, and I got to know him. And I got a call a little while ago, like a week, 2 weeks, and they asked whether or not it would be possible to go to Arlington National Cemetery 2 days ago. And also, could I say for the changing of the guard and the whole thing, which was beautiful, I did that. But it was very tough for me to get there because I was doing something else. I had to get out of something that was not easy to get out of. And I did that, and I did the changing, and then they said, could you come with us to the graves of, which is quite a bit away. You had to go into cars and go into, through the cemetery, beautiful Arlington Cemetery. And I did that, and I was getting absolutely killed because they're calling me, they're saying, sir, we got a lot of people waiting. I said, don't worry about it, let them wait. And I did it. And they're looking at the graves and they're explaining. One of the mothers was saying, and I've had this a lot actually, sir, could I tell you about my son? Yes. He said, sir, he was a good football player. He was a quarterback. He had a very strong arm. And he was playing another team, and it was a long story, and I just listened to it because I saw it was like therapy. She was so proud of him.
Oh, they loved you so much, President Trump. They had such wonderful things to say about you when we spoke. So they really appreciated that.
It was so good. But so they said, sir, could you take some pictures with us at the graves of our child? And, the child, because the child may be 22 or 24, but that's their child, right? They're not saying at the grave, the man, there's nothing political or anything. This was their child. This was their baby. Could you take a picture with, and these people are devastated. These people can never, ever be the same. And it was all because of Biden, okay? I'll get in trouble. I don't care. Get me in trouble. This should have never, ever happened. Nobody should have been killed. They should have left from Bagram, which is this massive base. They shouldn't have left from this little local airport where the whole city ends up piling in and everyone went crazy. And by the way, they shouldn't have taken the military out first. They should have taken the military out last when everything was gone. They took the military out, and I could just imagine Abdul, who's smart as hell. Somebody went to Abdul and they said, Abdul, the American soldiers have left. He said, you're a stupid man to say that. Of course that didn't happen. No, Abdul, they've left. I could just see it, the conversation. Then he found out they left. He said, I can't believe it. And once they left, they had a field day. What they did to us was incredible. But they kept everything. But thanks. So the people were coming up to me and said, sir, could I have a picture of you at the grave of my son? I said, absolutely. I would love to do that. So the whole family gathered around. We had the beautiful, stone, the marble with the name of the soldier on. Shouldn't have been on it because they shouldn't have been dead. And we took pictures at the different gravesites. And that was it. It was beautiful. And they were all crying. Everybody was crying. It was very sad. They were terrible. It's even worse when there was no reason for it to happen. It makes it even worse. It's one thing, it's a war. But here's the thing, it shouldn't have happened. Just incompetent. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country, but it shouldn't have happened. And these kids shouldn't have been dead. And the 45 people that were so badly hurt, and frankly, the 300 people, mostly civilians from the other side, they shouldn't have been dead. Just a grossly incompetent group of people. So,
thank you for respecting our dead, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Just to finish, thank you very much. Appreciate it. So, but just to finish. So I took pictures. I said to people, should I tell this story? I told the story once today. I said, should I tell it? Because I think it's a terrible thing. So I stood with the mothers, the fathers, sometimes both, sometimes a sister. There was a sister, beautiful sister, who also had some difficulty because of a war injury. But I stood with different people over different graves and took pictures. I didn't want to take pictures, but I wanted to take them if they wanted to take them. And the former president of the United States is with them. They're very happy about that, as happy as they can be, because they'll never be happy. And I took pictures, and that was it. And I left, and we said goodbye, and it was beautiful, actually. And then I get a call that night, sir, we're getting a complaint from the White House that you used the soldiers for publicity pictures and for public relations. And I said, I can't believe it. And I said, I can't believe it. So here's a guy that he killed those people, okay? These people were killed by Biden as far as I'm concerned. And then I get a call, and I'm taking pictures. These are pictures with parents, etc., sisters, brothers, people that are laying in the ground right there, shouldn't be dead. And I get a call, and I actually got a lot of bad publicity. They said President Trump spent time at Arlington National Cemetery taking pictures and things. It's just so disgusting. And I'll tell you, if you haven't noticed, I get a lot of publicity. I don't need that publicity. I don't need that publicity. It doesn't. I get a lot. I get too much. I'd like to have half that publicity. I want to hire a PR person to get me half the publicity. All right. But
that's not normally what you hire PR people for. But I'm sure you could find someone.
I just thought it was such a terrible thing.
So I just want to tell you, I think it meant an incredible amount to them. I know it did. They've spoken about it. And thank you for loving the American people. Thank you for working to make America great again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So we thank you for your time today, spending time with us. I want to tell you, Moms for Liberty is a nonpartisan.
All right, there you go. That sounds like it's going to pretty much wrap.
And we only
that was good. That was good there from the president at the end there. His explanation of how he thought through that. The media is just a bunch of goons. I mean, they're just a bunch of reprehensible reprobates in the media who would just. But that was a good explanation, and good for him today for clarifying that he will not vote for Amendment 4 in Florida.
Oh, good.
And he came out and said exactly basically what we said. He thinks 6 weeks is too short. That's his personal feeling, and that's fine. But certainly 40 weeks is. Not on the cards and the whole thing.
Look at this.
I mean, it's a thing.
She started him.
It is a thing.
This Tiffany, she started him.
It is a thing.
He threw up the. That's the first time I've ever seen him do the robot hands too. Yeah. He did open-handed robot along with the the towel. He started with the towel and went to the robot.
I mean, he's going to have to do it every time. There's just no getting around it.
Yeah,
now.
That's a move.
But good for the president today on that and clarifying that other thing. So
I love how he exits. He always exits.
It's a great format for him again.
Yeah,
it's a great format.
Because you know what, he knows he thinks on his feet incredibly. I was just telling Rick, imagine Kamala trying to do that. She couldn't get through the first question.
Never, ever could she do something like that.
It was
even with fake tapper Dana Bash up there. So,
Oh, Dana or Dana?
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was fun. Actually, I really enjoyed this. I'm glad we came on. It was a great 2 hours. That was fun talking about other things other than politics, which is
we're a little off the rails.
Sometimes it's just you get beat over the head all day. Sometimes it's fun just to have some fun. So,
amen.
Great time, guys. Have a great weekend, everybody. That's right.
Yeah, holiday weekend.
Friday. Holiday weekend.
Labor Day Monday.
That's right.
Labor Day Monday. We're off Monday.
So we'll be back on
So we will be back on Tuesday.
On Slick Rick's birthday. Tuesday.
Is that your birthday?
The 3rd of September.
Oh, do you remember?
Big one this year, too, Big D. A big one.
Wow. 40?
Yeah. Add 2 decades and you're there.
Oh, Slick.
Come on.
Wow.
I'm the same age as Tim Walz.
What a celebration.
I look just like him, don't I?
What a celebration on Tuesday night.
Come on. I'll be here.
I wish I had a suit like you wear. I'd wear it for you just in honor of you on Tuesday, but I don't think I could find anything. But, oh, man, that's going to be fun. Tuesday night, big party for Slick. Maybe we'll have to get a cake. We'll sing on the show?
My wife's like, it's your birthday. I said, no place I'd rather be with the boys on my birthday.
Oh, we love that,
Come
Slick.
on.
So we love you. So
I'll celebrate over the weekend.
All right, very good. Well, have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy your... Have a great time. Spend some time with family. Hope the weather is nice where you are. Have a great Labor Day on Monday. We'll see you on Tuesday night. Boys, enjoy it. Harry on the highway. Aaron Frank, great job as always. Most of all, thank you, the live from Studio 6B audience. We will see you Tuesday, 8 p.m. Real America's Voice right here live from Studio 6B. Enjoy, everybody. We'll see you then.